I have a really great message that I want to share. I wasn't intending on scoping today, but something happened this afternoon and I needed to share with everyone. So hopefully, hey, thank you for joining. Thank you so much for joining. Hey, KB Career, thank you for joining. This is going to be a quick scope today. I'm not going to be on long, but I had a moment of enlightenment this afternoon, and I just wanted to share. Hey Jenny, I hope you're feeling better. I know you were under the weather yesterday. Hey Anointed Chick, thank you for joining. Oh, you're on your way out, Trent. Hopefully you can catch a little bit of this. Just want to share a little bit on taking action, really trying to encourage and motivate others, especially, hey, especially in the face of some of the things that have happened today. So I wanted to be able to share. And again, I had no intention on scoping today at all, since I scoped yesterday, but I wanted to be sure to get on while I was inspired and while I was hoping to be able to inspire others. So just very quickly on who I am, for those of you who do not know me, my name is Kimberly A. Ferguson. I go by KFerg Speaks. You can find me kfergspeaks.com. You can find me on Twitter. Yeah, I am dedicated on a Saturday. This is not recorded. This is live, but it was one of those things that, again, I wasn't planning on coming on, but this afternoon, or actually it all started this morning, but you know, things just kept happening that I felt the need that I needed to come on and share and hopefully motivate and inspire others. So again, Kimberly A. Ferguson. You can find me kfergspeaks.com. You can also find me as KFerg Speaks across a number of different social media platforms. Hey, EVG Samaya, thank you for joining and thank you for inviting other followers. Those of you that have not invited anyone, just go ahead over in that corner there. You see the little person. Click on the little person and go ahead and share the broadcast. Ask your followers to join us because I do have some information that I absolutely want to share. Again, I'm Kimberly A. Ferguson, kfergspeaks.com. You can follow me across different social media platforms. Go to follow.kfergspeaks and .com, and you can follow me across platforms as well as see some video of me doing what I do. So me in action. Also, you can check me out. What I did today is I posted some video on yourcareermatters.kfergspeaks.com. So if you're not familiar with my Your Career Matters series, please check it out. It's pretty neat. I have people who ask me questions about career, and then I answer the questions via video. But very soon, in November, I will be, and this information is online as well, I will be doing the Your Career Matters series on radio. I will be doing it for WIMG, for the Trenton 365 show. They're sharing their platform with me, and they broadcast over 2 different radio stations that serve the Delaware Valley, as well as they broadcast online. So they have, I believe it's 70 countries that actually participate or listen to that broadcast. So thank you all for joining. Thank you for the hearts. I really appreciate the love. Again, if you haven't shared the broadcast yet, if you're not sharing it, go ahead and click on the little person in the corner and share the broadcast. Invite your friends, invite your followers to participate, because this is good stuff that I want to share. So as I mentioned to those that jumped on early, I had no intention on scoping this weekend, but I got 2 email messages that really inspired me and kind of motivated me this morning and made me want to go ahead and thank you for the shares. I really appreciate it, Trent. Really appreciate it. Hey, Kendra, thank you for joining. So I got these 2 emails, and they actually, one of them came in yesterday, but I signed off early because yesterday I said, you know what, I'm done. I'm going to spend time with the family. I'm going to, I talk about work-life balance. So I decided, I'm going to put everything to the side. But I got this email from a participant in one of my workshops, and she participated in the workshop this past week. And the workshop was on attitude. It was attitude in the workplace, but it was very specific to customer service. It was a customer service team. It was actually an admissions team for a college. And in that workshop, I just talked about the power of attitude when delivering customer service and how we have to take action. And, I talked about all those key elements, some of the elements that I shared here on the scope on Tuesday. And she sent me an email to say that she was inspired by what I had shared, not necessarily to apply it to the job that she's doing right now, but she realized that she's not in the place where she needs to be, and that she's been talking about making a move. And whatever I said, I'm not quite sure what it was that sprung her to action, but what I said inspired her to start looking at some different avenues for herself. Hey, PK, thank you for joining us. So that was the first email that I got. And then the second one was from a direct client who had an aha moment as a result of something that I shared with her. And she realized that she too was in a place where she didn't need to be any longer, and it was time for her to take action. But she was so busy blaming other people for the situation that she was in that she was missing the mark. She was missing the fact that a lot of the changes that needed to happen needed to take place within her. So this particular client, again, someone else who reached out to me via email today that said, you know what, thank you for what you do, thank you for your honesty, thank you for being direct, but most importantly, thank you for inspiring me to take action. So once again, that idea of taking action came out. Hey Josette, thank you for joining. For those of you that don't know, again, my name is Kimberly A. Ferguson. I go by kfergspeaks, kfergspeaks.com. You can also follow me by just going to follow.kfergspeaks.com, and there's all of the different icons for social media there. You can click on those and follow me across different platforms, as well as see a video of me doing what I do. So I was sharing that I had no intention on scoping today, but I got these two emails from clients, or one was a client, one was a participant in a workshop that I had done, and both of them were thanking me for inspiring them to go ahead and take action. And it just led me to want to talk to you all today about, taking action, stopping that woulda, coulda, shoulda type of thinking. Stop saying, well, I'm about to do this, I'm about to do that. It's time for us to take action, to have a plan in place. So in Marketing You, Be Strategic, I talk about, let me back up. Marketing You, Be Strategic, that's a faith-based career development book that I authored. And in the book, I talk about action. But one of the things I talk about, the core of the book, is strategic. Strategic is an acronym for the 9 characteristics that a successful career development strategy should encompass. The G stands for God-centered. Now, I'm not about to preach, so don't sign off, but I want to share something very key here, so just stay with me for a minute. So how do I keep God at the center? How do I keep God at the center of my career development strategy? How do I keep him at the center of my career? How do I keep him at the center of my job? Well, there's a couple of different things. There's 4 different things actually that I outline in the book. Number 1, exercising your faith. So making sure that we're exercising our faith. How are we exercising our faith? By believing and taking action by exercising that faith. Thank you. Thank you. Not quite though. And then the next part is staying connected to God. How do I stay connected to God? I stay connected to God by keeping an open dialogue with God, by talking to him every day, by staying in the Word, by reading the Word. Persevering is the next one. So number 3 is persevering. What do I mean by persevering? In the face of adversity, in the face of difficulty, no matter what those challenges might be, we want to keep going, keep moving toward that goal, whatever our goal might be. I had a very difficult year. Many of you know I lost 2 siblings this year within a month of each other. And that perseverance piece was very difficult for me to follow my own advice. But you know what? I know that God is faithful, and I know that I had to just keep pushing toward those goals in spite of the difficulty that I was facing. So I recognize that. And then, the idea, the last one, number 4, is taking action. So you see, I brought it back to the taking action piece. Keep working towards your goals no matter what it is that we're facing. So thank you, Josette. I appreciate that. Just keep working toward our goals. And both the training participant as well as the direct client, one of the things that I need you to understand is that they're in corporate settings, but it's still very much what I just said is very much at the core of what I teach. It's the idea of that no matter what it is that I believe in, I need to keep my faith at the core of what I do, and I need to keep my beliefs, and my beliefs need to be in alignment with what I'm looking to do. So my beliefs, what I believe, needs to be at the core, and it needs to be in alignment with mission, vision, values of the organization for which I'm working, or the project on which I'm working, whatever it is, because that keeps us focused. It keeps us moving forward, right? It keeps us moving towards our goal. So even though I might present this information differently depending on the audience, at the end of the day, the same strategies apply. It's the idea of we must take action. We must take action. So let me just very quickly share my testimony. I'm talking quickly because there are dark clouds above me, but I wanted to do this outside because in spite of the dark clouds, it is still a beautiful day. So I wanted to be out here. Bugs. But the idea here, I wanted to share my testimony, not because I need to boast, because that's not it. But I want you all to understand that I'm not just preaching the idea of taking action. I am living this idea. So although I'm excited about how God has moved in my life, I want you to understand that this is not a boast, but it's just something that I need you to understand because it has such a real impact on my life. And as people read my book, they say that it has had a real impact on theirs as well. So I incorporated my business in 2008, but even though I incorporated back then, it was very much a hobby. I was working full time. In fact, in 2008, I was teaching. I'm a certified teacher of English and internet and online technology. I was teaching at an alternative high school. So I was teaching then. I moved on to work in higher education. I was working at a college and still wanting my business, still wanting to push my business, drive my business, but I didn't. I was still working for someone else. And what ended up happening was in 2013, I went out with friends. I went to the city with friends and spent the night at a friend's house, and she wanted us to go to church with her. And I really had plans on getting in my car and driving back to my home church, but I said, you know what, no, I'm going to go to church with her. I went to church with her, and her pastor was, yes, your church, it was her church, and her pastor was speaking on faith and taking action and stepping out on faith. And I swore that she was talking directly to me. I mean, I felt like she was talking to me. And then she was saying things like, you've been praying about that business. You've been praying about that business. You need to step out on faith. And I mean, I swore she was talking to me. So at the very end, after she was done with her sermon, she called people up. She said, you know, come up for prayer. And I went up there, and she walked right up to me, grabbed me by my hand, and said, you have been praying about that business. Right now, walk around that business. Walk around that business. It's yours. It's yours. She just kept saying, it's yours. And the power of what she said, it wasn't because she said it, it was because I had been hearing it all this time. I knew that it was mine, but I wasn't taking the steps. I wasn't taking the action. So I was motivated to take action because I knew at that moment that that is what God had for me. And the funny thing about it, the people that were there, my friend that's on right now, she knew nothing about it. She knew nothing about what I had been praying for because I am a very private person. I don't share a lot of those things, even with my friends. So I wasn't sharing what I had been praying and asking God for. So the fact that that guest pastor pulled me out and said what she said. And so what I did, that was in March of 2013. In May, I gave my notice. I was working full-time for a corporation. I had left the college at that point, and I was working full-time. I was overseeing the implementation of a learning management system, which I needed that under my belt in order to do what was next in store for me, what was in line for me. So I gave my notice, and I have not looked back. And the reality of my situation is I gave notice, but I didn't just do it on a whim. I had a plan, and I put that plan to action. And that is the key here. It's very important that we have a plan in place, we put it to action. Do you know, after doing that, within a month of that, I was sitting with decision makers for the city, for a big city, to do learning and development for their water department. And I'm still doing that. This is now 2015. I'm going into year 3 of my contract with them. So it's things like that hopefully helps to motivate you and helps to inspire others to say, you know, it can be done. If we have a plan and we put that plan to action, it absolutely can be done. And that was just the beginning. I mean, for me, this past year alone has been amazing. I've worked with amazing people. I've met amazing people. I've done some amazing projects. I've done national conferences. I did the National Association of Catering and Events. I did PRISM, which is a conference for retail, service, and maintenance. So I've done some really fun things. I did something for the Black Professional Alliance, NBC Universal, a National Urban League. I did a webinar for them. So I've done some fun things, but also the most important thing, it's not about what I've done. It's about the fact that I'm able to reach so many people and inspire and impact so many people and provide them with key information that will help them take their lives to the next level. So as you can tell, I'm sure you can tell that I'm very passionate about what I do, but it's not passionate about getting up in front of the masses or meeting the people that I've been meeting, but it's more important that I'm reaching and I'm touching lives and I'm inspiring and impacting lives. So that is key, and what I'm encouraging you to do is to find what's yours. What is your thing? What is the thing that drives you? What are you passionate about? And making a plan for that and then taking action on that plan. So I wanted to share that today. I just felt so inspired to share that. Let me give you my information again. Again, my name is Kimberly A. Ferguson. Don't leave out the A. There's a lot of Kimberly Fergusons out there. I want to be sure that you find the right one. I'm the author of Marketing You Be Strategic. It's my only book right now, but I'm the author of Marketing You Be Strategic. You can find me, Kferg Speaks. kfergspeaks.com. You can also find me across all social media platforms, or most of them, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Kferg Speaks. And please follow me on Twitter. If you're not following me here, follow me here, and reach out. I love to hear from folks, and most importantly, if you have a career development question, check out yourcareermatters.kfergspeaks.com and submit your question, and I'll be happy to field it. Does anyone have any questions now before I go? I know I gave you an earful. Well, again, thank you all for participating today. Even though it's starting to rain, it's still a beautiful day. Go out and enjoy the rest of this beautiful day, and God bless you all. Be strategic.